little bit. I'm already. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody to the live broadcast. Don't wait to be great. I am your host, Mr. Derrick Forston, and this beautiful lady next to me, I am lucky to be her husband. That's my wife. Her name is Shay. She's going to address y'all in 16 seconds. But guess what? If you love God, love people, and love real estate, you're in the right place. If you're looking to replace your 9-to-5 job and do something that's more meaningful in life, you are in the right place. And if you want to do God's will, help people, make a bunch of money doing it, but also be respected by your community, you are in the right place. This is Forston Consultants, where we teach you guys how to take a regular residential property. And what's cool about it, you can rent it, you can lease it, you can arbitrage it. It all means the same thing. And we're going to connect with social workers and case managers, which serves as our funnel system. And that's how we're going to take people from homeless to hopeful. Now, I do that from a program called Second Chance Housing. Beautiful. Tell the people who you are again and tell them what you do. What's the name of your program and why are you here with me?
Absolutely. So good morning, everybody. I am Shay Forston, president and founder of the Angela Denise Foundation, 501c3 nonprofit organization here in Orlando, Florida, taking women from homeless to hopeful. And guess what? I utilize the independent living facility housing model to do that, right? No different from how Derrick does things. I am literally a 501c3. I am backed by a board of directors. I can facilitate and collaborate with other organizations and organizational partners like Walmart. Big shout out to you, Walmart. And thank you for sponsoring our 2025 Women's Spa Day. So that is pretty much who I am. And I'm also co-founder here at Forston Consultants, where I also teach you, like the individuals that are interested in starting a 501c3 and utilizing it to do good, especially with the housing aspect or any type of business, right? Or any type of program that you are wanting to add to that 501c3. So that is who I am. That is what I do here. And today we've got a lot of a lot of things that we're going to cover, right?
We are.
So we're going to dive right in. We're not going to skirt around. We're going to get right to business. So let's do it, D.
So let's do it. So before we even do that, I want to welcome all of the new people that joined us from different places. And in fact, if you're podcasting us right now to where you can only hear us, come over to our YouTube channel. The TikTok channel right now is blowing up, and you guys again are welcome to stay there. But I would love for you to come over to our YouTube channel, because today, guys, we're going to be discussing the top 5 mistakes that some of you all are making when you're approaching the landlord. So look at how it reads today, but we're putting a little spin on it. It says top 5 landlord mistakes to avoid. But I'm turning that actually into what are the mistakes that we can avoid when we're actually trying to convince somebody to rent their place. And because I never want to take for granted that everybody just know who we are, right? I want to just do briefly an intro of what this is, who we are, and I'm going to jump right into the coaching today. Yeah. So usually for the last few weeks, man, we've been doing a lot of encouraging, a lot of motivating, but also Shay and I just talking naturally, letting y'all hear the insight. Shay just took y'all on a 2-week tour of this event that she threw last weekend, which I still want her to highlight again today. So many of y'all are new to us, right? So if you're new to us, put in the chat that Derrick, I'm new to you, bro. And also put in the chat what city and state that you're in. Shay and I teach people how to start their own independent living facility, which does not require a license, and you don't have to own the property.
Right.
So if you love God, love people, and love real estate, Shay and I, we thought of this thing called independent living facilities. And lucky for me, she was so smart. She said, Derrick, you should trademark it in terms of how we do it, how we coach it, and how we change this thing from it not being a group home or an ALF.
Right.
Thank God for a great wife. So put in the chat right now, if you're new to us, I want to see that you're new, but I also want to see what city and what state you're tuning in from.
Yeah, so we do have some
Tanya family, good to see you, sis. Me, you had a great conversation yesterday out of Jacksonville, Florida. Good to see you, and good to see a lot of new people, right? DB's new to us. Levon's not too long new from us. Good to see you, young family. But I'm going to give that about 13 more seconds because I don't want nobody to miss this. If you on TikTok, come to Forston Consultants on YouTube, Forston Consultants, and 12 more seconds, put in the chat, city and state. Khadijah from Fort Lauderdale, I coach a lot of people down there. Come over to YouTube and join the rest of your family because God has blessed y'all, right? Some of y'all been praying for something just like this. You've been praying to start a nonprofit. You just gained a new big sister today.
Yeah.
Some of y'all been praying to house people and get into real estate and make a bunch of money doing it. You just met your big brother today, and that's me. So last chance to come over to YouTube before I jump really deeply into what this is, because I'm gonna pretend that all of y'all are new to me and y'all have never seen any of this stuff. So watch me go through this really briefly because Shay got me on a pretty tight schedule today, because guess what today is for me? An accounting meeting.
Yeah.
I ain't really excited about those, right?
He hates them. Let's be real.
And what's cool about the accounting meeting and how I'm honest about it, I don't care if we're doing good in business or bad. I just don't like to go to them. I'm just honest like that. I'm the guy that's like to keep my head down and go. Yeah. But please let me tell you that there's a side to this where you need to have these. Thank God for a great wife. My mom backs that, who's our accountability, and my accountant who demands these meetings. The devil is a liar. Just because I don't like them, we don't do them. Right.
That's a lot of trouble if you do that.
So real quick, here I go. Can everybody see my screen now? Because I'm not very techie, and I just want to make sure everybody can see my screen where it says housing the homeless as a mission. 10 of y'all put yes in the chat. Miss Faith, good to see you, sis. You've been super active on our social media. Good to see you, and I'm glad you're here. Rose family, Vashawn, good to see you, big bro. Watch this. Here is y'all big brother as a social worker, just like most of y'all begging God to change my life, right? I always wanted to help people, so this one, I ain't gonna point fingers, but this one tricked me to go to college. And through the grace of God, I finished it. Now, I'm going to skip that story where she said, Derrick, I'm going to help you, man. Don't worry about it. You just sign. I'm going to be with you all 4 years. Y'all, Shay got me signed up and helped me for 1 week. She says, bro, you got it. You can do this. And through the grace of God, 4 years later, I walk across the stage in Jacksonville, Florida with a degree. Now, I'm not asking none of y'all to go to school, but that was the route that God wanted me to go, and he used a great wife to kind of lure me into it. Now, I'm a part of all kind of boards and advisory boards and all these things that I'm hooked up to, but I was just like most of y'all. I love God, I love people, and I love real estate. But look at what I saw in terms of the conditions of like the people that were doing this. Some of y'all know my story, but I'm going to speed this thing up real fast, right? Again, I'm no different from most of y'all that wanted to get into something just like this. Yeah. But I saw people getting housed in rats and roaches and in filth and in grime. Can y'all see this stuff? So again, as I'm begging God again as that social worker to change my life, and everybody was honest with me and said, Derrick, I'll never teach you this, bro. You keep sending me those people and you keep being a social worker, Derrick. So this was me at my 9-to-5 job, nice and neat, got my tie on. But I was begging God for a change. And God messed around and showed me a lady that was making $41,000 a month. And these are the conditions that she did it in. Yeah. And usually, Shay, you know this, but it usually take me 2 hours to tell this one story. I'm going to be done with this story in 4 minutes because I want to get y'all to the point of how do we even rent these places. But if I never show you Miss Sandra, Miss Kayla, who's new family to me now, I'm Kayla's big brother now. Carol, good to see you again. How dare we beg God to make this kind of money, but house them in these kind of conditions? Look at the beds on the floor. Look at that one set of bed on cinder blocks.
It's really bad. And I think people don't realize the things that are truly out there and happening, right? In real time, real life. We're not sugarcoating this. This is not something that we just made up. This is reality. You can talk to a whole bunch of social workers and case managers. I don't care where you're at, what city, what state. And I can guarantee you that 10 out of 10 will tell you about some of their experiences, going to different housing programs, seeing the deplorable housing that they're providing to people, and they're doing it at a really, 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 really inappropriate costs, right? Super high, and just really having people live in subpar standards. And that's a regular
subpar
thing.
almost ain't even the right
I'm just
word
trying
because
to be nice. Like, I'm trying to think of the right way
because I love to ask people this question, Shay, and for my older folks, y'all have heard me present this, but if you're new to me, please be active and put this in the chat. Can you imagine making $41,000 a month? Y'all, I was a social worker making 28 grand a year.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine making 41 grand a year. This lady showed me housing people in rats, in roaches, and in squalor. Guys, if you don't have your glasses on today, those are cinder blocks that are holding that bed up. The other set of beds are on the ground.
Yeah.
5 of y'all, please tell me y'all can see these pictures. And because, LaVon, I knew they weren't going to believe me, I took pictures of it. Asia, I knew the day that I started to tell this story, people wouldn't believe the conditions of what I saw somebody making 41 grand a month doing. The devil is a liar. Look at this stuff, y'all. So again, I'm almost done, but I wanted to show, especially my new people, of where this idea came from. I'm no genius. I just always wanted to help people. I always wanted to be involved in real estate. I make no bones about it, y'all. I want to be rich. I want to be wealthy because I believe that if that happens, I can extend the love in my city. I can be the biggest giver at my church, the biggest giver in my family. Like, does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, this is not for selfish gain. And what I love about this business, Shay, is that it is so unselfish if you do it the right way. This is one of those businesses, like many businesses, that you got to spend some money before you ever make a dime.
Oh, you're going to spend money.
Because you're preparing a place that hopefully don't look like what you see on the screen.
Yeah.
Because this, again, is not how we do it. And the straw that broke the camel's back, because I took a Saturday, y'all, over 9 years ago, and I went to go and see what these places looked like because nobody wanted to teach it to me, Mr. Social Worker. And I saw and went and saw a lady sleeping on the kitchen floor. And it broke my heart because she told me she was paying $750 to live there.
Yeah.
And when I walked in the house, one of the first things people said was, Derrick, please tell me you're not here to bring anybody else. And as the house smelled like poverty, this lady walked me. She says, Derrick, this is where I sleep at. And y'all, it was in front of the kitchen stove on a 3-inch mat, 3 feet long.
Yeah.
And I tell this story all the time and I'm done. She says, Derrick, I'm just grateful not to be homeless outside. And y'all, as roaches were running in and out of that bottom drawer, this is where she was laying at. And as I like to say, guys, the devil is a liar because we don't have to do that to make this kind of money and mistreat people. And I'm no pastor, I'm no priest, and I'm no bishop. But we do love God and we love people and we love real estate. God was just smart enough to allow us to merge it all together. All we do is pour real estate, social services, and the love of God in a blender, and I blend it all up. Shay, I think we have a delivery coming in 26 minutes. Looks like. I'm not sure. You may need to get that. I just saw it on my phone.
Whose fault is that?
It is your brother. Anyway, that's an inside joke that y'all won't even get.
Always doing something that he
watch this though, because that'll get Shay off. Watch this, y'all. This is how we do it now as I get ready to go into the 5 mistakes some of y'all making. Now, if you under my coaching, you're not making these mistakes. But today, this is what we make it look like. Shay, can you talk about, first of all, what house is this? Where is it located? And how do we do this now? I told you I just messed Shay up, y'all.
I'm telling you, like, okay, so Derrick is always full of something, okay?
I surprised her last week, y'all. Her brother showed up and she didn't even know.
And now he's doing it again today, right? Anyway.
Because I didn't even know, but anyway, Shay, go ahead.
You are so, anyway. So 5, what am I talking about? The house. So this is my lady's house, right? This is my lady's facility where we take women from homeless to hopeful. This was initially a 4-bed, 3-bath. It is now a 5-bed, 3-bath. So we can take 10 women from homeless to hopeful. So super excited about this property. Love the fact that we get this opportunity to do so. I have the hiccup like it ain't nobody's business.
This is the way it's supposed to look, by the way, if you're on YouTube.
Exactly.
Go ahead,
this
Shay.
property is exactly what you see. It maintains its character and its cleanliness because the ladies really take pride in what they have, right? They really take pride in where they live. They love to be there. So guess what? They keep it up and they keep it up well. So that's my ladies facility, Derrick. And I've got 4 models, I'll say, in this one
Talk
property.
About them.
I have a shared room. So the shared
looks like this.
room is 2 people per room. They share all common areas, including the restroom. Then we have the shared suite, which is most times going to be your master suite. They have an ensuite. So they share, like those 2 women will share that ensuite. Then we have the private accommodation where it's 1 person in that room, but they still share the common spaces, including the restroom. And then we have the private suite, and the private suite is exactly that. It is a private room with an ensuite. And that is like, everybody loves the private suite model, right? But not everybody can afford the private suite model.
Right.
So that's why we break it down in subsections or subcategories, so that other people have the opportunity to one, have a clean place to stay, but also educate them in the process of, hey, this is what your budget can afford you. And this is, where you can fit in that. Like going to a hotel, right? You're not going to go and rent the presidential suite if you can't afford it, right? You're going to get like a mini suite or a junior suite or, a double queen, right? Double queen, or a, king suite. Like there's different stages to that. So we incorporate that in our housing model to help better, give people options that fit that suit their budget. So that's how we do that, Derrick.
Good stuff, and I appreciate that. So what makes this a no-brainer? Everybody here, right before we take a quick commercial break, and I want y'all to load the chat up with questions. This requires no license. So if you just joined us, everything that we're talking about requires no license because the people that we're serving are completely independent. In an ALF or your traditional IDD, that requires a license because those people require additional services. With the ILF model, which is what we also call the right now model, which you can start this tomorrow. You don't need permission from your city, your government entities in your state, or none of that stuff. This requires a big heart for people, a heart for God, and a love for real estate. And there's no medical oversight. So here in Florida, we have something that's called DCF. Every one of you all, depending on where you live at, have something that's very similar to where you live at. That kind of controls the Medicaid, Medicare dollars, all of that. Right. This doesn't involve that, guys. No certifications and no $30,000 sprinkler system.
Yeah, that's true.
And what broke the mold for me was when I saw the girl doing this in Rats and Roaches. She says, Derrick, I don't own none of these places. Really? Because, guys, I didn't know that. I thought you had to buy these houses. When she said, Derrick, I lease these places, I said, game over. And she still said, Derrick, I'll never teach you this. No problem.
Wait. So in that, let's be clear. So in that, you didn't have the verbiage on how to approach a landlord.
Nope.
You didn't have, just anything to kind of a leg to stand on when it came to introducing yourself to a landlord to rent their property, to do a good deed in the community. So I want to talk about that because this is something where a lot of people get hung up at. This is a place where a lot of people make a really bad decision to, one, not inform the homeowner of what you're going to be doing in this property. And I think that is one of the issues that we see and hear a lot of from people outside of our coaching that get into this space. And now they need us to house their residents because they're now getting evicted because they did not share the appropriately what they will be doing with this person's asset, which is their house. So talk about that a little bit. How did that impact you by not knowing what to say?
Yeah, it gave me a lot of no's. So
Right.
some of these people, Shay, know my story, but I got
Yeah.
told no 300 times before I got my first yes. And some
Yeah.
people just use a number like that being sarcastic. Guys, that was kind of like my real number.
Yeah.
Right. So when some of y'all tell me that you've been told no 1 or 2 or 3 times and it broke your heart and you kind of just fold up and quit, I cringe at that because it took me 300 times. And I'll admit the first 150 was pretty fast because when I first started to call people,
Right.
Shay, my wife knows this, and some of y'all have caught it already.
Yeah.
I stutter, and sometimes really bad if I'm nervous,
So bad to where he'll hang up.
if I'm excited, or if I'm not sure of myself. Let me repeat those. I stutter real bad if I'm nervous, if I'm excited, or if I'm not sure of myself. And that's a lot of what we're going to be talking about today. How are some of you all feeling with, like, what are you saying in that conversation? Tell your big brother text you if that's him.
I don't know.
And that's what I want to change today. So Shay, it really got me a lot of no's. So the first 150 times, people just either hung up on me because I was stuttering so bad, or I hung up because I couldn't get it out. Like, my name is Derrick, and I have a program, click. So sometimes I was so embarrassed, y'all, that I just hung up because I couldn't get it out. And then the other 150 times, y'all, I was saying the wrong words. And that's a lot about what we're going to talk about today. Language is a locator. And a lot of our coaching in terms of what we do and who we're talking to, it matters what we say. So whether I'm talking to the landlord, the possible guy I'm renting a place from, meaning the case manager, social worker, the insurance agency that I'm gonna call to get my insurance from, all of those conversations are different. You use the wrong words, it's gonna send you down a rabbit hole. But I'm gonna bless y'all today because that's a part of what I want to do. And one more time for my folks on TikTok. If you can only just see me here, come on YouTube at Forston Consultants. That's Forston, Forston Consultants. That way you can join all of us and see all of these pictures I'm getting ready to show y'all and the PowerPoint that's coming up. We discuss independent living facilities, how you can rent or lease a property and take people from homeless to hopeful. And I'll admit, y'all, you can make a bunch of money doing this if you do it the right way. But if you do it the wrong way, if you don't have a heart for people, get out of this and you can just miss my channel. I saw a lady making 41 grand a month doing this, y'all, housing people in roaches and in rats. So if she can do that, doing it that way, can you imagine what your life would be like doing this the right way? So that's why I tell people, this is one of these businesses, and y'all, I've tried every business you can imagine. I own 8 businesses today, Shay and I. But this is the one business that you can do good by people, you can serve God and do God's will, be respected by your community, but also make enough money to feed your family. Put a number 2 in the chat. If you said, Derrick, I can get down with that, bro. You mean to tell me, Derrick, you just said I can please God, help people, be respected by my community while I'm doing it? Yeah. But Derrick, also make enough money to feed my family and the overflow? Put a number 2 in the chat if you agree with that statement.
A lot of people don't realize, like, I remember initially when I first started with you, I didn't understand. And I think that's where people kind of get that misconception on how you can house people that are less fortunate and still make an income. Sometimes people don't understand what goes on behind it, right? And a lot of times it causes people to be like, oh, well, you're charging the homeless to live. And it's like, no, they're homeless because they're unable to find housing
that's affordable,
fits their budget. So it's not that we're taking advantage of the homeless population, because if you look at we're literally cheaper than the
raggedest hotel in your city.
Right. The crappiest of crappiest hotels. Motels, actually, because we're not even talking about hotels.
Exactly.
We're talking about motels, right? And you're like, that's where the misconception comes from. And people don't realize that if you give, they say it all the time, right? We see it often. We drive past all of these lavish complexes that they're building. Like, they're building a huge apartment complex down the street from
right
us.
now.
And people say, and we will be like, well, where do people
can't afford it?
Where are the people coming from? But Derrick always says this thing, build it and they will come. And we see that a lot, Derrick, in this space. If you provide the affordable housing, even though you may not be building it, but build the business and watch them come. Watch the people that need your services fluctuate to your business because they need what you provide. And that's the thing that I think a lot of people have to get used to in this space, because initially it was a discomfort for me because I did not understand that, one, homeless people have an income. And two, you think that people are just homeless because of bad decision making or, being lazy, not working, blah, 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 blah. But there's a lot of different things that cause them to be in the situations that they're in. And one of them is the lack of or shortage of affordable housing. So back to you, Derrick. I just wanted to say that.
So I love it. And again, this is where I usually do a quick temperature check. I want to make sure that everybody's following us, because if you're lost, I have no problem. And I'm real good at repeating myself. Some people don't like that, but I'm a coach and I'm just kind of used to that. Can just 10 of y'all to make us just feel good about it say that, Derrick, I'm with you. But if you're lost, type the word lost, because we real good at going over stuff. Let's take a quick commercial break and we coming right back. Hey, what's going on, family? I hope you guys are enjoying this show. But just in case you was wondering, how in the world do we rent these properties or lease them? And what does the conversation sound like that we're telling the homeowner to convince them to rent their house to us? That's one of the biggest things in this business, and I want to give it to you. So text the word PURPOSE, PURPOSE, to the phone number 407-326-0086. And we're going to give you the exact guide to what we say, how do we dress, how do we find them? Everything you need to know in terms of to get your first property, we put it in the ebook. And again, it's called The Pursuit of Purpose and Profit. Text the word PURPOSE to 407-326-0086, and we'll see you on the other side of success.
All right, guys, we are back.
All right, we are back, just like Shay said, and we're getting ready to start jumping into some of the coaching of it. Shay, I want you to check the chat, see if anybody's lost.
Nope, they all.
And I don't see anything, so that's good. Everybody's with us, and that's good. So one more time, guys, I'm getting ready to jump into some of the mistakes. I'm going to pick out about 5 mistakes that people are making when they're trying to get their first rental property to do this business. So one more time, if you just joined us, this is not how we're going to do this right here on stage. We're not going to do it on rats and roaches. We're not going to have beds on the ground. And if you just joined our YouTube channel, this is what I'm showing you guys, what I saw when I was trying to get into this. When people refused to teach it to me, I went and just looked for myself because I was the social worker, guys. I knew the addresses. So instead of trying to wonder what the inside of these places look like because nobody won't teach it to me, guys, I went and saw for myself. 8 years ago, I took a Saturday just like today around 11 a.m. Picture 30 more minutes from now, 8 years ago. And this is all the things that I saw. And because I knew one day I was going to talk about it and I knew y'all weren't going to believe me, I took pictures of it. My new people, LaTonya, I knew you weren't going to believe me. Now, LaTonya, you see me as your new big brother now. You from Jacksonville. And we family now. But sis, before you met me, I knew you weren't going to believe me. So I took pictures of it. I said, the day I begin to tell this story, I'm going to run into people like the Miles family. I'm going to run into Big Dog, the GOAT, Rhonda Jackson, Sandra Washington, Miss Val, Katara, Mr. Ronald and Kathy. Kayla, I knew people weren't going to believe me, so I took pictures of it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm done with this, but this is what, again, for the newer people that just came on, this is what I saw. And I saw this lady, y'all, making 41 grand a month doing it. Mm-hmm. It wasn't rocket science for me to say, wow, Derrick, you made 28 grand a year. And this girl is living your dream, Derrick, but doing it the wrong way.
Yeah, 100%.
Valerie, I said to myself, if I don't get in this, I'm doing myself a disservice, my family, and I ain't doing God no favors. Because in the Bible, it says, not Derrick, that the poor and needy will always be among us.
Oh, yeah.
The Bible says also that when we do unto the least of thee, the marginalized, the displaced, God said, it's like you're doing it unto me. So what you see on screen now is the right way of how to do this.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, the only thing that's brand new in this picture, y'all, is the sheets, the pillow, the comforter, those towels, and that Everything else was gently used from donations. That headboard, those bins, even the toiletries that you see that we give them to start out with, soap, toothpaste, shampoo, conditioner, razors, because she's nonprofit, she gives all of these donations that also benefit me. Does that make sense, everybody, as I jump into the coaching?
Because we have a lot to discuss.
Let's do
it. A little bit of time to do it.
So if you're taking notes, this is where you want to write your, take your pen and paper out. Here are one of the top 5 things that you all are making mistakes on when you're trying to present this thing and trying to rent a property from a landlord. And only reason why I know this too, y'all, because I take a bunch of strategy calls every week. And a lot of these people are new to this. They just trying to discover it. And guess what they told me that they told the landlord? Over 8 people this week laid out with, I want to rent your house.
Duh, that's the whole purpose that is up for rent.
Shay, that's not even the conversation, though.
My thing is, it's up for rent. But how do you start off with, I want to rent your house?
Exactly my point, Shay. Shay, language is a
locator.
Language is a...
Come on, Derrick, a locator. Like, you just sound real crazy.
And I told you guys, a lot of what we teach is in our verbiage. So my point is that the landlord don't care nothing about your dreams. He don't care nothing about you wanting to do this your whole life. Save that story for your family and me. Don't approach them in terms of, I want to rent your house. They want to know about where is the income coming from and the safety of their property. Even I, as a landlord that rent properties to mom, dad, and kids and all of that, I don't care about their story. I want to know how or what is their ability to pay the rent and how are they keeping my place safe?
Right. And they ain't tearing it up.
So Shay, I'll use terms like I have a housing program. Yeah, that's kind of one of the starting things. And now I can say things like, and we would love to rent or lease your property. Yeah, I'm also, Shay, going to let them hear things that make me sound like a no-brainer, such as I have a general liability policy which keeps me safe and your property, sir or ma'am.
And Derrick, can I say something about that too? It's not just saying it. It's being able to provide that as well.
Love it.
When the time comes, because what you don't realize is a lot of people will take this information and go out and try it, but they don't have the liability policy. When they ask for, what do you do? Like starting to stutter, right? Like Yosemite Sam, that was his name. Yosemite Sam.
That can be his name today.
Well, anyway, that's exactly what you can't do that. Right? You have to have these things to back it up, because some of these, well, I'm going to say most of these landlords will ask for proof, right? So make sure that you have these things available for them. So go ahead, Dee.
And again, to me, that general liability policy, guys, is what's going to calm them down. And like Shay said, we're not just saying it, we're actually going to do it, right? So that brings up another question. Well, Derrick, when do I get my policy? Immediately. Soon as you think you're going to do this and you get that LLC and you become a business, somebody can sue you the next day. So I want you to have a general liability policy now, and don't be dummy Derrick, who one of my biggest mistakes when I got into this was I didn't get insurance. That led to a $40,000 lawsuit and me being on the Channel 8 News. The devil is a liar. So I don't want that to happen to you all. So that's the first mistake, is the language and also how you approach them. You want to also build this thing to where it makes you look like a no-brainer. Okay, moving on.
But there, you said something in this too, in your notes, and you said landlords don't care about your dream. They care about steady rent and their property being safe. You are being an asset to the landlord's asset. So just make sure that you are promoting yourself from a position of being a value add, right? And not someone that's taking away value. Add value to what they already have. And that's going to be in your language. So go ahead, Derrick. Sorry.
Love that. The second one is kind of that along that same lines, right? You're not speaking their language. Mm-hmm. So some of the stuff that we speak here on YouTube, that's not for you to go and say it to them like that. They don't know what a client is. I worked at a hospital for many years, y'all, that didn't allow us to call our people patients. So we had to call them clients. So I just naturally translated that over to what we do, and a lot of y'all do. But when we're talking to the landlord, again, that's going to be different. Does that make sense, everybody? Also, when I'm having a conversation with the case manager and or social worker, that sounds different from me having a conversation with the landlord. I can use the word like drug addiction.
Yeah.
I can use the word like homelessness to the social worker and the case manager because they get it. They understand it. I am not using those words with the guy I'm trying to rent the house from. First of all, it's none of his business the kind of population I'm serving according to HIPAA. Because once we agree that I'm going to rent this place, I hate to say it, but sir or ma'am, ain't none of your business what I'm doing in here. Because we got a way to explain it and talk to you and tell you all how to say it. But just on the ground level, without me having to go super crazily deep, one more time, the guy you trying to rent the house from, he don't want to hear the words that you housing homeless people, drug addicted people, displaced people.
Because think of the misunderstanding.
They don't get it.
Of homelessness, right? I told you my whole misunderstanding. I did not realize that it was just someone that couldn't afford the average rent, right? And think about that. If a landlord really doesn't fully understand or is unaware of what homeless population you're going to be serving, you're doing yourself a disservice, right? Don't do that.
Good stuff. And Shay, chime in here, right? No proof or credibility.
Yeah.
How can you go to and ask somebody to rent or lease their house? And then a lot of times today, guys, unlike 30 years ago or 20 years ago, people now go to your Facebook, your Instagram, and your TikTok to kind of judge you.
Yep.
That was not like that 20 years ago. Today, people will go to social media to find out who you are.
Yeah.
And if you follow my coaching and you do social media every day, all day, every time, 7 days a week, when that guy goes to research you now, and you talking about you do all of this stuff of the verbiage that we teach all of you do house the homeless, the displaced, military veterans, you now become an easier choice.
Yeah.
You become a no-brainer. But if they go to your social media and all they say is you traveling the world, he don't believe you actually do this.
Housing what? Derrick, we need to take a quick commercial break.
Let's do that.
And yeah,
do both of us or just you?
No.
Can you take care of it?
I don't.
I'm gonna help you. So let's take a quick break. We're gonna be right back. If you're on TikTok,
setup, so I don't know what I'm getting.
If you're on TikTok, come to YouTube, the Forston Consultants, because we're gonna pause TikTok, but come to Forston Consultants. Shay and I gonna do something real quick. I got a surprise for her that's gonna take all of 1 minute and 13 seconds.
I don't even know what I'm getting.
And then we'll come back. So let me do this. Let me go here. We'll be right back, guys.
Take a drive down Los Angeles' Skid Row, filled with tents, people, and growing frustration.
If I can get back into another residence, then I won't make the same mistakes I made before.
According to new federal data, a record number of people are now unhoused, more than 653,000, a 12% population increase since last year. Mel Tilakaratna runs a nonprofit that provides free showers to people living on the street.
The system is completely overwhelmed.
Tilakaratna points to a rise in housing costs, the opioid epidemic, mental health issues, and the migrant crisis as factors exacerbating the problem in LA.
We have families, asylum seekers to families in LA who become homeless, and prior where we would be able to send them to a motel or a shelter within a couple of days, now there's absolutely no resources.
These issues are also creating friction in major cities. Back in September, New York Mayor Eric Adams revealed new fears as tens of thousands of asylum seekers flooded the city.
I don't see an ending to this. This issue will destroy New York City.
In Phoenix, the city recently cleared a large encampment located downtown.
It seems that the quote-unquote cleanup that the city did just spread the mess out a lot further. People going through everyone's dumpsters, dragging stuff out into the streets.
Across LA, officials have tried to clear out encampments.
They come hit tents and then all your stuff will be gone.
This year, Los Angeles County declared a state of emergency. Since then, officials say they have provided health services, counseling, substance abuse treatment, and found temporary housing for more than 15,000 people and permanent housing for more than 8,000. But even those resources are not enough for frustrated business owners like this woman who doesn't want to be identified.
We'll feed them. We offer food, but if they don't want it, what can we do? It's very frustrating. They'll throw things at you and they'll grab you.
A growing national problem that could take decades to fix. Dana Griffin, NBC News, Los Angeles.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and
All right, we are back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all again so much for joining me here live on our YouTube channel. My name is Derrick Forston, and we literally teach people how to take a regular residential property and take folks from homeless to hopeful. And you don't have to buy the property. You can rent it or lease it. And there's no license because the people that we're serving are completely independent. So let me do a quick mic check. Can you guys still hear me loud and clear? 10 of y'all put in the chat that, Derrick, yes, I can hear you, or no, I can't. And then I'm gonna go right back into, again, we're discussing the top 5 mistakes that people are making. Another thing that I'm having people that are literally telling me on these discovery calls is that they're just going in regular clothing. I go real deep in terms of telling you guys even how to dress. So I would recommend going branded. Like today, I got on a polo shirt that says Second Chance Housing with my logo. And guys, because a lot of people are going to already stereotype you as soon as you walk in the door or in front of their face, I want them judging me by what they see on my shirt. So that day, Miss Faith, that day, Miss Valerie, that day, Miss Rashida, when you go and speak to a landlord, don't wear your favorite pink blouse. Don't wear that light yellow blouse that you love to wear. LaTanya, don't wear your favorite pink t-shirt that day. Or if you do, make sure it's got your branding, your logo of who you are and what you represent. Because quite frankly, I'm going to say this one more time. A lot of people are going to stereotype you. And I want them already looking at my shirt because that's going to tell them psychologically, oh, that's what Mr. Eddie does. Eddie's got on a shirt that says James Solutions or Ames Solutions. This is what he does. Oh, okay, cool. But if you just go with your football jersey on or your favorite whatever shirt from the 3rd grade, like that ain't gonna work. So we believe in always being a walking billboard. You guys should be always a walking billboard because it gives credibility. And then one more thing that goes under that same point about no proof and no credibility. Some of you guys are doing this with just in your name and you haven't started a business. So under my coaching, I don't care what you want to do, whether that's fried chicken and sell it, you want to sell chocolate chip cookies, you want to run a daycare, you need a business. So step number 1 for everybody is to turn yourself into a business. Dummy me in the beginning, as we say, trying to get it out of the mud, trying to hustle and get it. Guys, I ran into a $40,000 lawsuit because I didn't have an LLC, dummy me, because I was just trying to get it, as we say. So guys, don't make the same mistakes that I did. I wrote a book, guys, called The 12 Dumbest Mistakes I Ever Made. Guys, that book is $27. And if you only read the dadgum table of contents and didn't even read the book, it'll save you thousands of dollars and keep you out of the courtroom. It's called How to Avoid the ILF Fiasco, The 12 Dumbest Mistakes I've Ever Made in This Business. And one of those mistakes was not having a general liability policy and a business. I just started this. I had the right heart, the right mindset, kind of, sort of. I had the will to do it, but I wasn't structured properly. So I don't want that to happen to you all. So that thing that people mess up, no proof, no credibility, no social media, no polo shirt, no LLC, no nonprofit. Guys, that's how we're going to get people to trust us. Point number 4. Landlords worry about property to their damage, late rent, and problem tenants. What can we say to assure them and address all of their fears that, again, makes you a no-brainer? When I first started, and I'm going to give y'all my spiel, I was told no so much that I said, God, man, you showed me a girl making 41 grand a month doing this. And God, I'm trying to feed my family, barely making 28 grand a year. But God, every time I ask somebody, they're afraid of me. And they say no before I even finish talking about it. And it's as clear as day. God was like, Derrick, I'm not going to tell you verbatim of what to say, Derrick, but listen to what their fears are. Everybody was concerned about how I'm going to get paid. What happens if it gets damaged? So God gave me the rebuttals of what to say. So when people talked about, well, Derrick, how am I get paid and how you know that this? Well, sir, the money that we receive is actually guaranteed through SSI and SSDI. That's a government stipend that our residents receive every month without fail. Our residents don't particularly have to get up every morning and go and get a job and work. They get a guaranteed stipend that comes to me and my program. Kayla, does that make sense? I don't want this guy thinking that I got a bunch of people coming from a hospital that don't work and can't pay the rent. So I make it sound like, which is true, I serve people that receive a government stipend. Y'all should be writing this down. And all of that rent comes to me and my program, which now the rent comes from me to you, sir. Can 5 of y'all put in the chat, Derrick, that makes sense? Everything that they're concerned about, I got an answer for with Derrick. What if somebody punch a hole in the wall? What if they break my dining room table? Sir, looking for you, we have a general liability policy. And we also carry a policy through American Home Shield that the AC, hot water heater, your dryer, your washing machine, your sink get clogged up. We got a maintenance team that'll take care of that. So see how everything that they're already worried about, I got a rebuttal for. And I'm going real deep with you guys today. Y'all better really appreciate this because this is a lot of my one-on-one coaching. How do we convince the landlord that you are an absolute no-brainer? Our money is guaranteed on time, all the time, and sometimes early because that's how we get it. Remember, through SSI and SSDI. Oh, I hope this makes a lot of sense. The property damage, guys, watch me be real honest. I can't fix a thing. My dad didn't bless me with handy hands. God made me a thought leader. I can come up with 1,000 ideas in a minute, but I can't put half of them together. So we leverage other people's skill set to get the job done. Like for us, American Home Shield. Guys, I can't fix a toilet. I can't fix electricity. I can't fix the AC in the middle of August. I don't care where you live at. Right now, it's hot outside. What happens if the AC goes out and you got a slumlord as a landlord that won't fix it? That looks bad on your program because guess what your tenant's going to say? They're going to blame it on you. Your tenants don't know your landlord. He gonna blame it on you, Miss Angela. That's why I don't depend on my landlords to fix nothing. I get American Home Shield on every property I have. So if the AC go out, I make a phone call, they show up the next day. They either fix it or replace it brand new. These are all the things I'm telling the landlord. Sir, I got to cover so good that if your washing machine breaks, sir, they either fix it or they replace it brand new. That's American Home Shield, guys. And there's a lot of companies that do that. I'm just calling out American Home Shield today. There's Old Republic. There's a bunch of them. And American Home Shield, if y'all want to sponsor me and write me $1 million check because I'm talking about y'all, I'd gladly take it. But thank God for American Home Shield because I can't fix nothing. Some of you guys that are watching me right now, you guys are handy. Y'all can fix and flip. Y'all can change out light bulbs and fans. I can't do none of that stuff. But guess what's so good about that? Also, the kind of guys that I'm housing, they can fix it too. So one of my prayers is that God, not only do I want to house these guys and help them, God, I want to give these guys a job too. I want to employ some of these people. Does that make sense, everybody? We're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
I hope you guys are enjoying the information and we super appreciate you guys being here. Don't forget though, if you want to be an affiliate of what we do to get 40% of it, make sure you guys text the word affiliate to 407-326-0086. And remember, I pay 40% of whatever you sell.
We are back. We are back. So one more time, guys, I want to say everything that's going to reassure this owner that I'm legit. I have a business, a legit LLC that I can prove. I have a general liability policy that I can prove, and my rents are guaranteed because of my partnerships through the hospital. Now, even though, guys, I got people that have jobs and go to Walmart and Sonny's Barbecue and Burger King and McDonald's because they got a job, I explain to the landlord that my rents are guaranteed because they're government funded through the SSI and the SSDI payments that also come to me. Forget about the guy that's at Burger King. I ain't talking about him. I'm telling my landlord about my SSI and my SSDI people. And then I say things like this. Mr. Landlord, the reason why my other landlords love us is because we pay rent all the time, on time, and sometimes early because of how it comes to us. Oh, I hope this make a lot of sense to people. I'm giving the game away today. My special guest is coming back, look like. Shay is coming back, and I'm still under an hour right now, so I'm doing good. Are you guys enjoying this information? Let me know in the chat. Shay's coming back. I'm going to actually go to a quick commercial one more time, and we'll be right back.
Did you know that we had a Facebook Academy and it's absolutely free? Text the word JOIN, JOIN to 407-326-0086 and join the rest of us. There's about 90 to 100 people joining that group a day. And it's like-minded people that want to do the independent living facility model. So make sure that you join it. And again, text the word JOIN, JOIN to 407-326-0086. And my team will send you the link to join that. Or just go to Facebook and type in the ILF Academy and we'll see you there.
All right, we are back, and look who back in the shop with me, my pretty other half. Oh, and if you just noticed, or if you don't know this lady, this is my wife, y'all. This ain't just some lady I met at the mall last week or something like that. Shay and I will be married 13 years, guys, July 7th. So is that correct or incorrect?
We made 13 years July 7th.
What did I say? Will be? Did I say will be?
That's what I'm like, we trying to celebrate our anniversary again?
We are actually today. Let's redo it. But I did mean 13 years. Not, I meant 13 years, y'all, as of July. Don't get me in trouble, y'all. As of July 7th. So Shay's my wife. She has a nonprofit organization by the name of the Angela Denise Foundation. She does the same thing I do. So probably what, Shay, 5-6 years ago, I snatched you from corporate America.
It's been 5 years.
And she said, well, Derrick, what am I going to do now? I said, well, you going to house these women because I'm done doing that.
Different, y'all, because I always have braids.
She got a natural hair in today, y'all.
Not in.
Well, is that what you call it? In or done it?
It's just my natural hair.
Yeah, well, she got a natural hair. Most of y'all used to seeing her in braids. And then when she straightened it, y'all, it go way down her back, which is my favorite. Oh, don't tell Shay that I told y'all this. I like her natural hair curly, but my favorite is when she put that curly iron to it. Ooh, Lord. And it hang all the way down her back. Don't tell I said that. But her straight hair, ooh, Lord, it's amazing. Anyway, we getting back, Shay, because I'm on my last point. And for my new people, let me know if you're new to us. Put your city and state in the chat because I want to take some questions. I'm probably going to take the top 7 questions that I see. And I'm going to get you guys out of here because I understand today is also college football for a lot of y'all football fans. And I don't want to hold y'all up. And I got an accountant meeting. So put your questions in the chat. And I'm going to let Shay pick the 7 best questions because 7 is our favorite number and the number of completion. And I got married on the 7th. Yeah. 7th day and 7th month. Yep. The best 7 questions, I'm going to knock them out. And part of the last point I want to make, Shay, is right here. I want people to be consistent. I don't want you guys to get your 1 or 2 no's and get frustrated or you quit. Please let me be an inspiration to tell you. I was told no, guys, about 300 times before I got my first yes. And I was honest, the first 150, because I was stuttering so bad I couldn't get it out. The other 150, I was using the wrong verbiage. And I basically told y'all the verbiage today. We also got ebooks that give the whole verbiage away. So that ebook that's called The Pursuit of Purpose and Profit, it gives the verbiage away. That whole government funded, hospital contracted, we have our own maintenance team, and we're backed by law enforcement. Those are the 4 things that get me into any door in America. Because I'm showing my proof of concept, I'm showing my insurance, and I'm showing my business, and I'm showing my social media where this is all I do. Guys, I'm a no-brainer to people. When I ask somebody to rent their place and I walk away and they're going to research me, guys, I am a no-brainer because this is all we talk about. Yeah. And I want you to be the same. And right before I give it over to Shay, I want you to mix in prayer. Talk to God every day like he don't know that you want to do this. And don't try to be all religious and guys, that's your daddy. Talk to him. I talk to God the same way I'm talking to y'all. When I saw a lady making 41 grand a month and rats and roaches, I said, God, You love that lady just like you love me. And I said, God, I'm struggling to feed my family doing the right thing. I could be selling drugs. I could be in a gang. But God, I want to help these people that need housing. And you showed me a lady making 41 grand housing your people. I put it on back. I said, God, these your people in rats, in roaches, in filth, and in grime. I said, but God, if you let me get in this and I do well at it, I said, God, I'll go all over the world. I'll build a soapbox on this thing, telling people of your goodness, your grace, and God, I'll give you all the credit. Yeah. That's the cheat code to life, y'all. Even though how great you are, give God all the credit. We serve a jealous God that loves that, and it's his anyway. We're nothing without God. We're all baloney without God. But with God, your city gonna think you a genius. Guys, my city think I'm a dadgum genius, and I'm not. It's just the goodness of God that is poured all over Shay and I. And we poured all over our city through real estate. So all this is, again, is real estate, the love of God, and social services mixed together. And don't get discouraged when you've been told no 3 times. Keep asking.
No means next opportunity.
And pray to God for the landlord that don't care what you do in that property as long as you pay the rent.
No is next opportunity.
No means next opportunity.
New options.
New options. Got another one?
I'm thinking.
Put in ChatGPT. I like that. But one more time, guys, seriously, man, let's just keep moving. Let's move at the speed of instruction. Let's not let fear be your portion. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind to make decisions to house the homeless and the displaced using real estate. Yeah. My name is Derrick Forston. I approved this message, and I was able to do that in under an hour. Right now, I'm going to go to the chat.
I got several.
And I want to take the best 7 questions that Shay think is appropriate, and we're going to jump right into it right after this commercial break.
I hope you guys are enjoying the information. If you want more information just like this, what you're hearing now, make sure you text the phrase more info and don't put it in the chat. Text it to this phone number. Text more info. That's MOREINFO to the phone number 407-326-0086. We're going to give you our complimentary webinar, and then that leads to a complimentary call with me and my team to talk about how fast can we get you started. Let's get back to the show.
Hey, we are
all
back.
Right, we are back. So let's jump into the question. And again, y'all, thank y'all so much for allowing me to kind of pour into you all that way. Can you all let me know if you guys enjoyed that? Like, was that some insight in terms of how we look at this in terms of renting the property? Was that okay? Okay, if that was terrible, tell me. But if you enjoyed it, let me know.
So Leonta said she thought this was a replay. Nope, we're live, sis.
We live, sis.
She's like,
today is August the 30th, and it's 10:57 a.m. right now, Eastern. This is not a replay. We're live.
Yeah, we are live. So Faith says, is it a smart idea to convert your own property into an ILF? And she states that she's an empty nester and thinking of moving and turning the home into an ILF.
Okay, so I get that question at times. I'm gonna read it again to make sure I got it. Is it a smart idea to convert your own property into an ILF? My question would be, would you live in it? Because I'll admit that's not kind of
moving. She said thinking of moving and turning home into an
perfect. So if you moved, and that's to me is a regular rental property. So yes, I thought you would lean more so, well, what if you stay? Yeah, which we kind of don't recommend. But I still tell people that if you want to stay in it, just make sure that we do it the safe way, and we would help you choose your population to make sure that you're safe. Right. But if you're going to move away, I absolutely have taught people that says, Derrick, this is genius. I got this big old house I'm living in by myself. Derrick, I'm going to leave this place and go get me a 1-bedroom apartment. I've had people to do that. That makes a lot of sense. Put in the chat, says, how big is your place, bed and bath, and also where you located, Miss Faith. But yes, that is very, very doable.
All right. So next question is, she's new for Bria, is new from Delaware. And she asked, do you have to acquire business credit to rent your first home, or are you renting under your name?
You do not need business credit for this. This kind of goes back to that last statement I just said about 2 minutes and 13 seconds ago. Every night, y'all, please steal this prayer. Steal it. God, thank you so much for that information that you showed me today through Derrick and Shay. Yeah. God, can you already kind of make the crooked road straight and line up all of the landlords that I'll eventually approach.
Exactly.
But God, can you allow me to find a landlord that could care less of what I do in that property as long as I'm paying the rent? God, give me favor with you first and favor with these potential landlords so that they say yes when I tell them what we're doing. So no, you don't need business credit. I hate to say, but you don't need personal credit. Now, some people will run your credit in your background, but for the most part, every house I have today, every house I have today, nobody wanted my background. Nobody wanted my credit. Now, my largest house today, he did say, Derrick, I don't trust you or this idea. So if you want this house, I want first, last, and a double security deposit.
It was expensive.
Guys, he tried to make it impossible just to see if I was serious. My largest house to date.
And you've been in it now for what?
Oh my God,
7 years?
6, 7 years easily.
7 years,
One of the probably my third property ever in life.
Yeah.
Guys, and it's a mansion. And he straight up told me, Derrick, I don't trust you or this thing you talking about.
Yeah.
But if you want it, and guys, that costed me, if I remember, Shay, it was $7,250. I paid $7,250, but I knew that if I got that one property and no other ones ever in my life, that property could make me rich. Because that property, guys, I can fit about 15, 16 people in it. Now, I'll admit, I don't put that many just by choice, but in terms of how large it is, I can absolutely do it. So we range between 9 and 11. So like to date, there's 9 of the greatest guys you could ever imagine that live in that place.
Yeah.
Okay. So she said it's a 3-2 in Hollywood, Florida. Yes. So I love that because in Hollywood, Florida is very expensive. So if you can use your own house to do this and you go somewhere else, this sounds great. I love it, Faith. Shay?
Absolutely. So question from Miguel Diaz says, have you had issues with relationships forming with residents? So the relationships between, so I'll ask this, I'm going to ask this for clarity, but I am going to answer the question for you in the way in which I am perceiving. I'm going to answer it in 2 ways. So the relationship between me being the housing provider and the residents, no, I have never had any issue with that because of the relationship that I initiate, right? It's not more so of a friendship. One, we let them know that this is how we run things. We're very family oriented. If they're uncomfortable with that, I tend to love the hell out of them. But no, people understand what they're going to get from us and from our housing program before they even enter into our housing program. So the relationship aspect between me and the resident is very, it's business first, it's professional first, but then there are times where it becomes more relational. Yeah. But for the most part, the relationship is very loving, right? I've got long-term residents, so it's gone from that professional. There's still that aspect of professionalism.
You gotta have a line.
Now
I like that, Shay.
So the relationship of family, right? Sometimes you got to be strong with your crazy cousin, or you got to be strong with your niece, right? So we have that aspect. But now let's swing the pendulum a different way. Let's swing this thing a whole different way. And let's talk about the relationships inside the house. This is where it is so important to do an assessment, right? Assessments help you gauge personality types based on the people that are already in the house and the person that you are attempting to bring into the house. So one thing about us, we're very big on our assessments, and we assess for who's already there. So prime example, if I know I'm getting ready to bring somebody in the house that has just a litany of issues, doesn't like to be around people, is like Oscar the Grouch, certain things like that. I know for a fact.
Not Oscar the Grouch.
I know for a fact that they're not going to be a good fit for my housing program because of the way the ladies interact and engage. I know that will be an uncomfortable place for everybody in the house that's been there already, and super uncomfortable for this person that I'm now bringing in. So the assessment is going to help you really navigate that space and make a great informed decision on who you're bringing in. And that way you can help kind of mediate the the disagreements before they even happen.
Yeah,
because
I love
you
that,
kind
Shay.
of know the personalities that are there. And this is why I always tell people all the time, when you start an ILF, you can't be hands off, because if you're hands off, then guess what you're going to end up doing? You don't know who you're housing, right? You don't know. And let me tell you something, when they are in that house for about 30 days, they are comfortable. And now you're going to get to see who they really are outside of that assessment. So try to make time to, spend some time at your ILF, get to know the residents, kind of get a gauge on who they are, how things are going in the house, and then start assessing those new clients that are wanting to come in. Assess them based on what you're seeing in the house. So that's my answer for that. No, we haven't had any. I have. I have had a problem. So asked about a problem with relationships. Yes. Did an assessment, had a full house, had one bed available. Did an assessment 3 times. Knew without any doubt, okay, and hear my heart when I say this, knew that the decision that I was in the process of making was dead wrong. The resident was not a good fit. But I saw something in this young lady that I wanted to help, right? The worst nightmare, it was like the nightmare on Elm Street, okay? Just being real. I had 5 women in the house. She made number 6. This was a 3-2. She literally ran her roommate out of the room. The roommate started sleeping on the couch. And let me tell you something, had I not intervened, my house would have been empty and she would have been my only resident. And I would have been mad, because let me tell you, she was nothing to be messed up with. Okay. She was a piece of work. She assessed very well. But there were some things that just did not add up, that I knew if those little key things that I was seeing were to be her underlying personality, I was in trouble. And guess what? Those key things that I was seeing was her underlying personality. And it made for a mess. She would lock herself in the bathroom. So now instead of having 2 bathrooms, I had 1. And that was the one that was in a master that 2 people had already shared. So now they're actually having house meetings in that master bedroom, because nobody can't use this other bathroom. It was a chaotic mess. Okay, this girl called DCF, Adult Family Services. She called everybody. She told them that our house was falling down, that she had no ceiling in her bedroom. It was a mess. So
and again, all of that stemmed from doing an assessment.
Yeah.
Thinking you're getting the right person, but like Shay said, that she kind of thought she felt something. Even I told her, I said, Shay, this ain't the one.
Derrick said it.
Right? My experience knew it. But again, she had to learn that for herself. And also a part of you wants to help, right? We laugh and joke and have a great time here, but Shay wanted to really help this young lady, but everybody can't be helped in your place.
They can't.
This place in this setting was not appropriate for her.
No.
She needed a higher level of treatment, as we call it in what we do.
She did very
So if you want
well.
the medical terms, this lady needed more of a higher level of treatment. She wasn't per se independent, because what happens when you go off your medications and you become mentally unstable? And she don't know her need to take the medications, which in our opinion, on our coaching, that's not independence.
Mm-hmm.
When you know your need for treatment and your medication, that means you're independent. That means you're going to do well at my place, because you're going to take your meds every day, which keeps you mentally stable.
Mm-hmm.
Great coaching there.
Yeah, that was an interesting season. I'll just say that. Okay. A season that lasted very shortly. Thank God for case management. Thank God for all of the things that we had in place. So I didn't just make this decision without the right ideas. I had the support surrounding the resident that I knew I could lean on in the event that it didn't work. Right. I hate that I did it anyway, because now, it just causes for a lot of chaos, and it was unnecessary chaos that my ladies had to go through.
Tia said, what happened? What did you do with that person? What happened? What was the end result?
a referral to a higher level of care, right? So what ended up happening is she was followed by case management. She had a case manager, like she put her case manager through the ring. It wasn't just me. It was me, Derrick,
and it's also easier when they have a
case.
case manager, because if they don't, it's just you dealing with it.
So what ended up happening is the case manager actually, did the paperwork, and because there was a lot of documentation. Sorry guys, I got to join back on TikTok. Because there was a lot of information already documented in her file, especially the calls to DCF and adult protective services.
So sometimes, guys, you're going to get those duds, as we call it, or a person that's just not quite ready to change their life. And we got to figure out how to move on from them quickly.
Yeah,
because
really
again, your prayer at nighttime is, God, allow me to house the folks that are ready to change their life.
Yeah.
If they're not ready to change their life, then God, keep them away from me and my program. Like, I pray like that. I don't want the guy that's not ready to change his life. He gonna waste my time, his time, and he's gonna ruin the camaraderie of all of my other good people and make them leave.
Yeah.
One of my quotes is, what's the fastest way to lose a bunch of good people?
Bring in one bad person.
By bringing that one bad person
Bring
in.
in the one wrong person. But no, what ended up happening with this, like I said, I was able to lean heavily on her family because her mom was in the picture as well as her case manager.
Which is not always the case.
That is not,
so she got lucky with that.
Not always the case. What ended up happening is, the case manager ended up having to escalate things through her chain of command because of some of the things that the resident was doing that was bringing harm to not only our housing program, but also the case manager safety. So that all kind of ended up playing a role in that. I think she was Marchman acted. The mom and case manager were able to get in a Marchman Act. And
Baker Act.
No, they went Marchman.
Marchman?
They went Marchman,
okay.
Yeah. And then she went back to state. So she ended up having to go back to the state facility. She was a state hospital client for a few years. And I think she was out for a few years. But they were, because of everything that the case manager was able to document, they were able to utilize that in a Marchman Act. And I think she went back to state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that young lady, unfortunately, was, severely mentally sick. And sometimes people can interview very well.
She interviews very well.
But also just be a complete train wreck. So anyway, let's move on to the next question. And then also, just to give a little bit more insight, when somebody said relationship. So with me and my guys, the line is really clear. I'm the landlord, meaning I provide a clean, nice, safe environment. Your job is to pay rent.
Yeah.
But when it comes to relationship, I'll admit, I got more of a relationship with my ILF people than I do my regular rental properties with the mom, dad, and her kids.
Yeah.
There's no relationship there really, because that's all in the property management. But the ILF, there's a relationship there. Because when I need the truth or got to fix something, it's easier when you have a relationship. But my lines are not blurred at all. My job is to provide the housing, keep on the lights and the water. Your job is to pay rent on time, all time, and sometimes early if you have the ability. That's my setup. I provide the place, you pay rent. We both do that. We got a beautiful relationship. Put a number 5 in the chat if that makes sense.
Yep.
Shay, next question.
So there's actually, hold on, I'm trying to join your TikTok.
Okay, I can read one. It says, you guys are truly a blessing. Thank you for your true transparency. You have provided a lot of great info. Thank you, Val. I appreciate that. Val, that was a promise I made to God many years ago. I said, God, if you let me get into this and it changed my life, I'll go all over the world doing this. So 7 days a week, guys, we're on YouTube doing something. Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday are really like our live days. But the other 4 days a week, my team is still putting out content on YouTube to change your life. Yep. We got the game. We do that to change y'all. I buy a whole system and pay a monthly fee just so that y'all can see us 7 days a week.
And get the information.
Call me what you want, but you would never say, but that guy Derrick would never teach us, and he never gave the game away. Yeah. That's how people did me. So next question.
This question, there was a question on your TikTok chat that asked, what's the difference between Marchman Act and Baker Act? If you want to answer that from the case.
Baker Act usually deals with when someone's mentally just off and they need to go to a mental health hospital up to 72 hours to be assessed by a provider, psychiatrist usually, and then bring them back stable for their mental health. Marshman Act a lot of times involves the refusal of that care or drugs and alcohol is mixed in it.
Correct.
So a lot of times when people are just struggling with drugs and alcohol and refuse help, mental health, or substance abuse treatment, we Marshman Act them, which means we go to the court, fill out paperwork, me and the mom or whoever, and then the judge sign it. We send the police to the house to pick him up, handcuff him, and he go to treatment. So Marshman Act means I'm going to force him into treatment.
Baker Act is more
Baker Act, the same Terry, forced into treatment for up to 72 hours. Correct. So there's also a voluntary where they can just walk in the hospital themselves. Say, hey guys, I need help. I'm mentally off today. I need to be back on my meds. But the guy that's screaming in the middle of Walmart thinking that he's Satan and the devil and Jesus all in one, he's stripping out of his clothes, we got to Baker Act him.
Right.
Now, depending on where you live at, it's called something different. So go to Chat GPT and say, my coach Derrick told me that Baker Act in Florida is mental health treatment for when people needs it and don't know it. What is it called in my city and my state? Baker Act.
Hold, right?
And it's a 72-hour hold in that hospital to hopefully get him back on meds, set him up with case management. Guys, I did this job for 9 years. People came to my hospital, saw the doctor, got stable mentally, and if they was homeless, my job was to find them housing.
Yeah.
Very simple.
So let's go to the next question because we've got literally 15 minutes. I have a property that I own, it must be, and live in that doesn't have a mortgage. It's a 4-bed, 1-bath.
Congratulations to you.
Should I turn it into so if you live again, are you willing to share the bathroom with like maybe 3 strangers? So I would ask that question first. That would be my ask to you.
Our tenants don't care, but do you care?
Right. Do you care? But if you're going to move out and utilize it, yes, you can. But what I will give you is this tip. I would not go past because you don't owe anything on it. Do private rooms. You don't need to do shared. And you only have 1 restroom, even though we're not in the business of toileting people. Especially if it's going to be women. Okay. 4 women to 1 restroom can be a hot mess. So don't do it. But again, just navigate that space. See what the need is in your community. If you're not going to reside there, definitely you can. I would advocate for 1 per room, 1 person per room, because you don't have a mortgage. So whatever you make on this property is going to be an income, a profit for you, right? Other than, utilities. But yeah, so you've definitely got a gold mine that you're sitting on. TikTok for Derrick is Derrick Forston, Derrick. For me, it is Angela Denise Foundation. I was on with Derrick, but then I got booted off. So for me, it's at Angela Denise Foundation. So Derrick, if you want to type that in, because
say again.
Can you type in my handle?
I sure can.
Thank you. And then let's go back to these questiones. So here's a great question. How can an LLC protect you from being sued?
It's not the LLC that does that. It's the general liability policy. The LLC will, have some protection to it. But when you talk about lawsuit, I want you to have both the LLC shield, but also a general liability policy.
And so like the LLC is to literally separate you from the business. So you, the person, is not the business. So it separates the two, right? Sole proprietorships are like you're turning yourself into a business, right? And that's where you and the business are one. To where the LLC separates you from the business. The business has its own identifiers like an EIN. You're not using your social security number. It is all standalone for the business. There are some nuances in that. I am not an attorney, so check with your business attorney to get the finite information on that, but it does provide some coverage, right? But we put everything in an LLC. And again, you can have an LLC and file taxes as an S Corp. You don't have to modify everything. You can do your filings so again, just talk to your accountant, talk to your attorneys about what is going to be the best shield for you. And like I said, insurance, right? Insurance. In case stuff happens, make sure you have it. Okay, because that's going to be what covers you. With liability insurance, you can have as little as a couple of $100,000 in liability insurance, or you can have millions of dollars in coverage under that insurance policy. And as long as you are deemed not at fault, again, it can come from that policy. That policy is there to support you. Just like as you go to the doctor, right? Your insurance covers your procedures. Your insurance covers those things. So you just want to make sure you have the right policy that is suitable for you by speaking to the right agent, knowing what you are wanting to insure. So for the ILF model, we have a whole thing that we train our team on, and we have an insurance provider that,
because again, it's about language.
And
what do you ask for?
Yeah,
you don't ask for a group home insurance. You don't ask for ILF insurance. Like, it's all about conversation, guys, and the verbiage that we use. And trust me, under our coaching, you guys know the verbiage. Yeah. You guys are not allowed to slip on the verbiage.
And
okay.
Somebody asked in TikTok, how do ILFs avoid zoning restrictions? We don't need it. Hello. We are residential. We are operating residentially. So again, there's a lot of nuances in that. We're not needing certificates. We're not needing licensing. When you start going the route of licensing and all of that stuff, that is when zoning becomes a part of it. When you're having to add sprinkler systems and all of these things into your property, that's when zoning becomes an avid thought that you have to kind of operate in. All right, let's see. How are the utilities paid, Derrick? Is it included in the rent?
So I actually got it right there on screen. So when you start this, big bro, you're going to be a one-stop shop. So we don't charge our guys for lights and water and Wi-Fi and cable and all of that stuff. So prime example, me in Orlando, Florida, this bed right here for me starts at, notice my verbiage is not $940. It starts at $940. Somebody type in the chat, starts at. Derrick told me to never put that my price is, name a number. Derrick said to put starting at. That way, if you want to give yourself a raise, or if your price happens to change, or you've been an HR rate to somebody else, you're not locked into one price. So we always put starting at or starts at $940. Yeah. So for me, that includes that guy's lights, his water, the Wi-Fi code, all of that. Yep. That's what makes this genius. And also, I'll go further. That's how I explain it to the social worker to make me sound like a no-brainer. I say, ma'am, the reason why second chance housing is the best choice for you and your people that you're discharging every day is that I'm a one-stop shop. You call us, and either we're going to house that guy or we can refer to our network of other providers. We cover the lights, the water, the cable, and free Wi-Fi. Wink, wink, wink. I always say free Wi-Fi. So even though that we provide it and we pay for it, here's a tip. Say free Wi-Fi. Why do I say that? Here's a major gem. Most of the people you house got a cell phone, but it ain't owned through AT&T. It's not owned through T-Mobile. It ain't owned through Verizon. They just carry it. And they can't wait to get to a Wi-Fi signal to be able to use it. Yeah. Because I know that, I tell my case managers, ma'am, because I understand our population so good, we here at Second Chance Housing give our tenants free Wi-Fi so they can keep in contact with their mom, their dad, their family, their psychiatrist, and their friends and family, because we understand communication is key to their life. Oh my God, how great does that sound? But how can you say that when you don't know it? So me as a social worker that done this job for 9 years, I'm pulling things that make me a no-brainer and I'm giving it to y'all. Say, ma'am, I understand that a lot of people that you're going to refer to me won't be able to afford their phone bill. But here at Second Chance Housing, or you name your program, we offer free Wi-Fi. So when Johnny moves in, the first thing we give him on intake is the Wi-Fi code. Tell him to store his mom in, his doctor in, and family and friends, because Wi-Fi is on us. Ooh, they ain't gonna tell me, Shay, but that's some good coaching. Yeah, you're showing the people that you understand who you're dealing with. Correct. Most of my guys ain't got a phone playing through AT&T. They use my daggone Wi-Fi. Yeah. Oh, I hope these people are listening. Shay, back on you.
I want to go back to the question that I was answering because I missed the whole last part of it from Mary Long. She says, don't we want to have business entities without having it linked to us? And unfortunately, when you file for any, like, what's the documents that we had to file just this year for all of our businesses? A business will always return back to its owner, right? It's just a shield which separates you doing the functions of your business as a business and not as you, right? And it's to identify tax liability. So an LLC, a C Corp, an S Corp, all of that is how do you want to be taxed, right? And I just want to give some education on that because I think a lot of people don't understand that in order for a legal business to be operated or created in any state, there has to be an owner. So when you're setting up any type of business, your personal information will be responsible for that. And like right now, what is the name of the darn document? Why I can't think of it?
To do what again?
The document now that they've asked for any business owner. So you've got to fill it out whether you want to or not. And it asks for all of your personal information. And that was that new government form. Dang it. Why I can't remember.
That thing that Lynette told us about.
Can remember the name of the new form that we all have to fill out. So no matter what, and that is to make sure that you are not skipping out on taxes and that you are the legal business owner, right? So again, a business can't be created by itself. Somebody has to create it. So I think that's the best way to kind of help you understand that. And I just want to make sure that I'm giving you understanding from a business perspective, because yes, your information is going to be attached to the business, but
BOI.
That's it. Thank you. Thank you for whoever.
Thanks, Faith and Levon.
Thank you. Yes.
Appreciate that.
So a BOI is going to be that thing, right? So any business operator, let's say they use the fictitious name, and like the BOI is going to grab you in the butt anyway, and it's going to take all of that information that is your information, and it's in a database. So again, your business cannot be created without a person creating it. So that's why the government or your state is always going to ask for your information, because a business just does not create itself. You are, or a person or a group of people create a business. So I just wanted to clarify that part.
Which one of those screen things you have to hit for that burgundy shirt for the AI one? Remember that screen thing?
Oh, hold on. Derrick wants to do something fancy. So let's do something fancy then. So let's go fancy pants. We can do that and then go for it.
Let's take a quick commercial break while we stay on the screen. This looks really cool, right? The same AI that powers my voice in this avatar is helping us revolutionize housing, and it can transform your life too. And by the way, if you're curious of how we're doing this, we'll break it all down for you. Because if you're not leveraging AI in these eye-catching avatars in your advertising and marketing, you are absolutely missing it. Join us every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern live on our YouTube channel at Forston Consultants, and we'll show you exactly how we do this. We'll see you there. All right, we are back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, and that is AI Derrick. So I got some more exciting news about that coming up, and I'll talk more about that probably next Monday. But again, thank y'all so much for joining us today. You guys have been a big part of this show. If you love God, love people, and love real estate, you're in the right place. And right now, we're just answering some questions, and we probably got how many left before we go? I'll let Shay call it, but however many left she says, we'll knock those out. I think we did more than the 7, so I think we're doing good. So if you haven't put your question in the chat yet, go ahead and do that. If you put it in the chat and you didn't see it get answered, make it fresh for us in the chat, and we'll knock it out.
I have a question. I'm actually going to answer this. So this individual says, I have an LLC now. Do I need to register the business with the state? That was the registration.
That's a part of that, yeah.
With the state. So a lot of times when you form an LLC or a business entity, you'll start receiving a lot of mail from like third-party vendors that want you to buy a certificate or pay for this or pay for that. I would tell you to just verify who they are, go online, put them in ChatGPT, find out what they're asking you to do, because an LLC is what registers you with your state. So that is, if you have that, if the documents are completed and you can go to your state, your secretary of state, and pull up like your business information, it's already registered. So, and that's done via the application for the LLC.
And Bashan says, I have 2 properties that can house 8 to 10 people.
Go for it.
and in the process of becoming an IDD provider, but thinking about making one of them an ILF. Good stuff. We would love to be your coach. That IDD is absolutely needed.
Yeah.
But that's not our game, right? But also put in the chat for the people that don't know what IDD is. I often talk about that's kind of what we don't do. And when I say IDD, sometimes people don't know what that means. For Sean, if you can do us a favor, tell everybody what is an IDD housing program, which requires a license, state oversight, and a bunch of other stuff. But if this is something that you're considering, I'm super glad that you found us. Let me know how long ago you found us as well, right? Mm-hmm. But an ILF is what we call the right now business. Yeah. Like I can start one of these tomorrow. Yep. Like you can't start an IDD tomorrow. You can't start a traditional group home tomorrow. Right. You can't start an ALF tomorrow. Right? Lots of requirements to jump through. And trust me, I don't talk bad about those. They all have their own respective place.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll just admit, God made me more of a right now guy, and my patience is short for getting things started. So when I found out that I could house people that were independent with no license and I could rent the property, guys, to me, that was a no-brainer. Why would I want an IDD or a group home? Now, watch this. Shay and I still discuss to this day that one day we may get an ALF. But I'll admit, I don't want to run it. I don't want to be a part of it. Correct. I just want to own the property and have an administrator running it. Francesca Dawson, Jameen Dawson.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But the ILF model, guys, I can go and rent or lease a property, call a bunch of social workers, show up with coffee and donuts saying, hey, I'm the guy, and they flood people to me. Like, that's essentially what we do. There's a lot of stuff in between that. But essentially, I go and rent a house, advertise like crazy, meet with social workers and case managers, and here's my biggest secret. God first, but coffee and donuts is next. Mm-hmm. Nobody turns down coffee and donuts at 9 o'clock in the morning. When you say, I only need 5 minutes of y'all time, and I'm bringing coffee and donuts. And I want to talk about how we can work together to end homelessness through my program, which they're already looking at your shirt. If you're listening to me, don't go with your favorite shirt that ain't got no logo. Because while you talking, he's looking at that logo.
Yeah, don't ignore your YouTube people, because
I'm kind of going back and forth.
You spend a lot of time on TikToks
because we just came back here, actually.
Right. So Jay Maverick says, as a formerly displaced veteran, is there a program that can be implemented that aligns with the ILF? The ILF. The ILF model, right? That we house veterans all the time. A lot of them, still receive their support and their services, are receiving their support and their services from the VA. So it's no different. They are able to live and thrive without the need for assistance or need any medical oversight. But if they do, they go back to their case managers and their coordinators at the VA. So the ILF is that model, right? You're not having to add anything. Now, if you add things onto that, be cautious of what you're adding, because you don't want to add stuff that makes you a licensed housing provider. You want to be the one that provides them a place to stay, a place to reside, and that is you being an ILF owner and operator. Just the population type that you are going to be housing our veterans.
And for John American, my ebook is a one-time fee, not monthly. I wish I had an ebook that was monthly. You just gave me an idea, right? Write an ebook, charge monthly, but just add to it every month. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that idea. But no, all of my ebooks, guys, which can be found at forstonconsultants.com. I think I got a QR code for it here somewhere if I can find it. But pretty much no question that you guys can ask that I don't have an ebook behind. So I have a book that's called The Pursuit of Purpose and Profit. If you guys just text the word purpose to 407-326-0086, that's an instant download for that to buy it. I have an ILF bundle. That's 2 books together. Yeah. And a video, ILF 101. That's the ILF bundle. So there's actually 3 things in that one product. 2 books and a mini series of a bunch of stuff that you need to know. Yeah. And then our most famous book after that is probably called The ILF Fiasco, How to Avoid the 12 Dumbest Mistakes Derrick made when he first started. And then also download those free books. So go to forstonconsultants.com. There's a book that's called Life After COVID-19. Top 10 ideas that make you some money doing something completely different from this. So I teach a bunch of stuff, y'all. So download that free book. It's free. And then download our free real estate book that gives you the vocabulary. Because some of y'all don't know the vocabulary and you get lost.
Yeah.
So that stuff's free, guys. forstonconsultants.com/products and services.
So we're going to take these last two questions.
Let's do it.
We're done. So this one is this is more of a comment, but a question at the end. I have a friend doing something similar in the UK. Once she has the home set up, a social organization places.
Yeah, I would answer that one actually in the chat.
You did.
Yeah.
So again, there's organizations here. They won't rent out the whole home because they don't want to do any of the lifting, right? They are looking for you to provide the housing. There are some organizations that will pay the monthly rent, but of course it's because they're attached to a program. Like for me, I have a resident that is under a program that is in the process of getting SSI, so the program pays for her. There was a program that I was attached to that was very similar to that same one that I'm talking about from that same particular location. And they did rent out every bed because they had that many people in their program. So again, there are some places like that, but just be mindful that it may come with more of a heavy lifting for you because their expectation may be a little bit different in regards to what they're expecting from you as the housing provider. So just, there are organizations, you just got to find the organization, right? Right now we partner with churches. There's other social organizations in the community that we partner with that will provide rent up to a certain time until those people get on their feet or get SSI. So you just got to figure out what the program entails, how long are they willing to pay, and what that looks like. Okay. So I hope that answers your question.
That's good stuff, right there, Ms. Shay.
So this is Latanya, because you spoke to Latanya yesterday. She said, I was told here in Jacksonville, Florida, that I have to contact zoning department. You'll do that and you'll go down a rabbit hole that you'll never get out of.
Because you said transitional housing, and that's not what we do.
You are not.
Language is a locator, sis.
We do not do transitional housing. That is going to be the big. That's one of the things that so Derrick did all of that. And I wanted to see if I can find a loop, not even a loophole, where you were wrong or incorrect in saying we didn't need to go through all of these loops and hoops. And I did the exact same thing until I got in contact with, it was the city, and they connected me with an organization here in Florida and said, this gentleman has been doing exactly what you're talking about for over 30 plus years. And he has never once required anything from us. And this is the city, okay, our state, the officials telling me this. And they were like, yeah, you don't stop asking us. Like, in other words, stop calling me, because you're going to keep getting a different answer from anybody you speak to in that office. So be mindful that a lot of these people don't understand what we're doing. They don't understand the concept, and they're going to lump you into one of three boxes: ALF, group home, transitional home, sober living. They're going to start clumping you into a box that you're not even a part of. So be mindful of the language that you're using, because if you start using their language, you're going to now start dancing by their music. Hold on. I need to respond to a text.
Okay. I needed a phone real quick.
Go ahead. So just be mindful of that. And Derrick, we do need to go because I've got the handyman. I got to get all of this stuff done today. So Derrick, I'm going to let you tap in there.
Okay. Let's see. Thanks for answering as well. Okay, cool. Thanks. I am a female. Thank you for letting me know. So if we called you a guy, I apologize for that. I'm not sure if that's why you said that. But yeah, we appreciate that. John American Davis, that's a female. So Davis family, we appreciate you guys being here. Also, my assistant is not in this room today, so I won't do that thing that I usually do. But if you guys are interested in our one-on-one coaching, if you think this YouTube room was good today, you should, you almost can't imagine our one-on-one coaching. And anybody that's under our coaching, feel free to chime in. If I'm a liar, call me that in the chat. But if you trust and believe and know our coaching is one-on-one and it's 1,000, put that in the chat. Right here is our DIY. It's called the ILF Mastery Blueprint DIY coaching. It's only $497. And what's cool about this plan, guys, you get everything that my one-on-one people get. You just don't get me. So people that can just read and follow directions and watch a bunch of videos of me, it's the same great coaching. It's just that my one-on-one people get it from me on the Zoom, in person, by phone. You get it on video. We still build out your website and give you all of the stuff that comes with this to run this business. The legal paperwork, the back end, the software. So please go to forstonconsultants.com under products and services so that you guys can see what's all involved in it. I won't go crazy deep on that today because I'll be honest, guys, I don't sell products. I don't sell any of this stuff. Yeah. I sell transformation. So when you guys are ready to change your life and you and God and had that conversation, that's when you come to us. We come to YouTube and learn together as a family 7 days a week. But when you say, Derrick, God already told me to get in this, bro. Like, and I've already been trying to do this for years. And just by chance, and it ain't by chance, I ran into you today on YouTube for such a time as this. So when you're ready to change your life, guys, come here. Because between God and us, we're going to change your life. And again, I don't sell products. I give you most of this stuff complimentary. We sell transformation. Exactly. And right here is the ILF Mastery Blueprint. Quite frankly, this is what most people get and most people want. It's the one-on-one coaching. That means I'm in your back pocket. I'm your big brother for however long you say. Right? Now, we got some contracts in place, right? Yeah. But essentially, guys, with this one-on-one coaching, like, please go to forstonconsultants.com and see what's all involved in it. The paperwork, the curriculum, the website build out, the virtual assistant. I give you your own VA, your own virtual assistant to run your business, your life, to set up your nail appointment, your hair appointments, your social worker appointments. Our VAs do everything for us, y'all. Like,
as you see, mine ain't set up my hair appointment. Okay. That's why I'm walking around.
And then last but not least is the ILF Legacy Builder. Hey. This is our white glove service where we do everything for you. Your business structure, your website setup, your automations, your bots, all of that is set up. And I fly to you, to your city. Yes. So this one used to only be invitation only, and it's still kind of like that. It's just that now, once my team finished my new website, this is actually going to be on my website. It still is a phone call first, then application, because you just can't write me a $20,000 check and sign up. I don't take it like that. This is a very special program, and you got to pass certain parameters to even to be in this one. Because if you're not serious, I ain't taking your 20 G's. But if you serious, you come right on along. Yeah. But those other two, you sign up and let's go to work. Yes. But for the Legacy Builder, that is a phone call first, then an application. And then if you get accepted, you jump into that and we keep it moving. Other than that, man, you join me 7 days a week on YouTube. I got complimentary content. You don't pay a dime for, only you got to pay attention. So we got a lot of people that do pay attention. A lot of people that do get the DIY and do great at this. But most of y'all say, Derrick, I want you in my back pocket, bro. All that sounds great, but I want you to guide me, coach me, and I want your personal phone number. Because I heard, Derrick, you meet with your people every 2 weeks, and they can call you every day, Monday through Friday, 20 times a day. That's true. So if you want Shay to be your big sister to teach you that nonprofit route, if you want me to be your big brother, we always say, first of all, get the proper permission. Yeah. Now, I know God wants you to do this, but ask God, am I the guy to teach you this? Because if I'm not to be your coach, I don't want to be, because we're out of alignment. Now, I pray that I'm supposed to be your coach, but you ask God first, because what's going to happen is my prayer going to merge with yours. My prayer says this: God, send me great people every day of the week that want to do this, because I want to teach them, because God, I made you a promise that I would. But God, don't send me nobody that thinks housing people in roaches and in rats, that it's okay to do that. And they can make 40 grand a month doing it. God, keep them people away from me. But God, people that want to change their life, their community, their family, and the people they serve, and they want to keep you first, God, send those people to me. Yeah. Because God, you already put me on assignment that I'm to teach them. See how me and your prayer merge together?
That's so good.
So again, man, if you just join us, text the phrase more info, MOREINFO. That's just 2 words, nothing else. You're going to get a download. You enter your name, email address, and phone number. You get an instant download of that web class. After that web class, I want to talk to you to find out, are you ready to go? Now, if it's just questions, you bring it to YouTube and we learn together.
Right. Yeah.
But if you say, "No, Dick, I want that coaching, bro, but I got a few questions before I sign up," that's that discovery call. And we can do that. So I love you guys like a fat kid loves cake. I'm going to give it back to Shay, and we're going to begin to close you guys down.
Good. Let's shut
Thank
it down,
y'all
'cause we
so
gotta
much.
go. Like,
And I'll have my team take a screenshot of these because I'm sure we missed 15 questions. We'll bring those Monday.
Yeah,
So
join
come
us back on
Monday, 7 p.m. Monday's a holiday, ain't it?
Oh, it is.
We'll probably still go live. Join us Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. But also, if you go to church, if you believe in God, talk to God tomorrow at your place of worship like he's never known that you will want to do this. And say, "God, I ran into that guy Derrick yesterday. And God, I want to do that because I believe you involved in it and they got the sauce. God, if it be your will," and I know it is because you said to take care of the poor, the needy, and the widow. God, I want to be involved in that. And if Derrick is to be my coach and Shay is to be my big sister, God, make the way easy. In fact, God, make me rich and add no sorrow. And God, allow my community to lean on me to be the answer to affordable housing. And God, I'll be ever so careful to give you all the glory, all the honor, and all the praise. Still that prayer if you're smart. Shay, bless the people real quick and we're going to get out of here.
Y'all have a blessed day. I'm sorry. I'm texting my maintenance guy and two of my residents.
When you own an ILF, we have maintenance things.
Yeah, so my maintenance guy is actually texting me, and two of my residents are texting asking me about the issue that the maintenance guy is on his way to go fix. So I'm sorry. Y'all have a blessed week. Have a blessed holiday. Be safe. And remember that God has definitely placed us here, and you've encountered this live because of your heart to serve God's people. And we would love for you to be a part of our family. And if it's not through coaching and it's just being here and joining us every Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday, we look forward to seeing you. So again, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell for those of y'all on TikTok. On YouTube. For those of you on TikTok, follow. Don't just like, follow Derrick Forston, follow Angela Denise Foundation, and connect with us, right? Share your story, share your experience. For those of you that take this information from these live sessions and go out there and do something fantastic, let us know. We want to hear your success stories,
Absolutely.
Right? We love to celebrate you all as you get out there and do something amazing and impactful in your community. So again, have a blessed holiday weekend. I am Shanya Shea Forston, and I am signing out.
Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ever ask or think, according to God's power that worketh in us. You guys be great, and we'll see you Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Hey, what's going on, family? Please make sure that you watch our webinar, which is the first step to getting started. So just text the phrase "more info," MOREINFO, to the phone number 407-326-0086. Don't type it in the chat. Don't put it below. Text it to that phone number. That way you get that free webinar, but also it leads to a discovery call with me and my team to see how we can get you started. So again, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, this is it. Show me anything else to where you can make such an impact in your community, serve God, but also make a bunch of money doing it. We don't hide that. We want to make a lot of money doing what this is so that we can extend our hand in the community and continue to be the answer to affordable housing. Text "more info" to 407-326-0086, and we'll see you on the other side of success. Let's get back to the show. Did you know that we had a Facebook Academy and it's absolutely free? Text the word JOIN, JOIN, to 407-326-0086 and join the rest of us. There's about 90 to 100 people joining that group a day. And it's like-minded people that want to do the independent living facility model. So make sure that you join it. And again, text the word JOIN, JOIN, to 407-326-0086. And my team will send you the link to join that. Or just go to Facebook and type in the ILF Academy and we'll see you there. Hey, what's going on, family? I hope you guys are enjoying this show. But just in case you was wondering, how in the world do we rent these properties or lease them? And what does the conversation sound like that we're telling the homeowner to convince them to rent their house to us? That's one of the biggest things in this business, and I want to give it to you. So text the word PURPOSE, PURPOSE, to the phone number 407-326-0086. And we're going to give you the exact guide to what we say, how do we dress, How do we find them? Everything you need to know in terms of to get your first property, we put it in the ebook. And again, it's called The Pursuit of Purpose and Profit. Text the word purpose to 407-326-0086, and we'll see you on the other side of success. Did you know that we had a Facebook Academy and it's absolutely free? Text the word join, JOIN, to 407-326-0086 and join the rest of us. There's about 90 to 100 people joining that group a day. And it's like-minded people that want to do the independent living facility model. So make sure that you join it. And again, text the word join, JOIN, to 407-326-0086. And my team will send you the link to join that. Or just go to Facebook and type in the ILF Academy and we'll see you there. I hope you guys are enjoying the information and we super appreciate you guys being here. Don't forget though, if you want to be an affiliate of what we do to get 40% of it, make sure you guys text the word affiliate to 407-326-0086. And remember, I pay 40% of whatever you sell.